quality.
Quality of the rigs.
Quality.
Quality across the board. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer is.
Quality and the engineering of some things.
Quality.
Quality.
They need to make them like they made them back in the 2000s.
Quality.
Quality. Definitely quality.
Yeah.
Sound quality.
They need to get away from building trailers by piecework.
We asked 12 different RV couples the same question. What does the RV industry need to improve on? We thought we'd hear a lot of different answers, but they all said the same thing. And stick around till the end because we asked a professional RV tech about these quality issues, and with all of this going on, if he was going to buy a new RV today, what brand would he go with?
If I were to purchase another unit right now, it would probably be a...
Now here's what the RV couples had to say.
We've got Ron and Jackie with us today. What is the name of your social media handle?
Heisman's Hit the Road.
And what RV do you have?
It's a Jayco 317 R-Lock. Rear living, outside kitchen, R-Lock. Number one, quality.
Yep.
Number two, by far, I think, customer service. Customer service.
service.
They seem to be really interested until they have your money. And then after that, the interest seems to go away. And the callbacks stop happening, and I think a lot of us have experienced that.
A lot.
Yeah, I think it is happening to a lot of people, and some of the newer companies, I'm hoping, like we're right next to Brinkley, actually.
Right.
We hear great things about them, and hopefully they're going to set an example for everybody to maybe step up their customer service.
That would be great.
That would be great. Absolutely great.
We are the Roadsmiths, been traveling since 2021, and we're currently in an Airstream 30-foot Globetrotter. Well, I mean, I not to dish on the RV community, but quality, right? I mean, we've had good luck with customer service, but just quality and the engineering of something. Sometimes we think, that's a head scratcher. Why did they do it that way? Why did they think that way? And
sometimes it's the simplest improvement, which would only be a small increase in costs, but most RVers would say, do the, pay for the little extra quality and we'll pay the price.
Yeah.
It's been our experience.
I'm Lance from Boondocking with Boomer. I'm in a 22-foot Class C. I have 1 million subscribers. They just haven't subscribed yet.
Hi, following Chrissy. I just transferred from a teardrop trailer to a Sprinter camper van.
Just the quality of their RVs. Make sure when you put a screw in something and it goes into a 2x4 and not just misses the metal or something like that. That's what they got to really improve on. And I'll tell you, the dealerships here got to make sure that these RVs that they've got here don't have a lot of flaws on that people are going to see and think, okay, this quality's not that good. They got to go through it more, meticulously, right? Make sure it looks good.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's not the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, I know.
I'd have to agree, the quality, the camper van that I have, I won't mention the brand, but the cabinets fell because the screws weren't screwed into the metal. They weren't long enough, so I had to put new screws in, and it hasn't moved since, but quality, sure,
Quality.
Quality.
They need to make them like they made them back in the 2000s. Those are the best years, man. Yeah.
Like I just said on my last video, I might just have to buy a 20-year-old motorhome or something.
Yeah.
Just get into something that's, built like a tank.
Yeah.
My husband Kurt, my name's Melody, and we have our son Marcus. So our channel's RV+3, and we have a Cedar Creek 377BH.
I'm always going to say one of them is going to be quality. It's an earthquake rolling down the road.
Right.
Stuff is going to shake loose, and if you've never RV'd and you arrive at your destination, and cupboards are open and things like that, because it's a lot of bouncing. So always improving the quality of the RV and making it more stable, better suspension systems.
I feel like they aim a lot of times for families with little kids, but there's a lot more families with bigger kids, teens. So some of them are doing the 2 bedrooms, but I wish that they would focus on taller kids.
Okay.
Not just little ones.
Right.
That's just something I wish
our
they would.
15-year-old's pushing 6 feet already, and I'm 6'5", so.
And we know a lot of families that are struggling with trying to upgrade their rig to one that would fit kids that are in their teens growing.
Yeah, my wife and I are our venture awaits. Instead of the A for adventure, it's our venture awaits. And we were full-time for 4 years. My rig is a Keystone Alpine 2019 3651. I'd say overall quality of the rigs, listening to the customer, and as far as things that the customers want, and warranty response. You know, instead of just telling a dealer that it's denied, explain why that claim is denied and what can be done to get that claim approved, possibly. Because sometimes it's, you know, the communication between dealerships and manufacturers is not always what it's supposed to be. And I've seen it in the past where we had an instance with a claim being denied, not denied, but delayed. And it turned out it was being delayed because the dealership had not responded back to Keystone with answers to the questions that they wanted. They wanted some more pictures and the dealer didn't do it. So it was a matter of me calling Keystone to find out what was going on. Then Keystone customer service said, well, hey, we're waiting for this from the dealer. Get back in touch with the dealer, told the dealer, it's like, hey, what's going on? This is what Keystone said. The next day, it gets approved because the dealer then provides. So sometimes it's just that follow-up.
Right. Great. Thank you for sharing that, Tom, and thank you so much for your service as well.
It was my pleasure
I appreciate
to serve.
that. Be sure to share your opinion down below. What do you think the RV industry needs to improve on? I've got Kevin here, Nuttin Adventured.
Nothing gained.
What RV are you traveling in right now?
We have a 2023 Alliance 43 V13, and that stands for the toy hauler. And we use the toy hauler portion to carry my motorcycle, and when the motorcycle's not in there, that's my daughter's bedroom because it has a full bath in the back. Customer service, hands down. They need to get away from building trailers by piecework. They need to put these skilled tradesmen on an hourly livable wage to build these trailers, and they need to teach them how to build them the right way and give them the training, make them good at what they do, and then pay them enough that they don't leave. That's what's going to change the industry to make these rigs better, have a better experience for everybody else. And you see this all the time. You have to deal with kitchens and sinks and everything else. What do you think is something that they should take more care for or add to? Or
I would say that the kitchen sinks are just a little bit more user friendly.
Okay.
That's all. Especially if you're looking at a full-time rig instead of a weekend trailer. Make the kitchens a little bit more user friendly, where things fit.
better shelves
Better
in the
shelves.
pantry.
Yes.
That would be one. Better shelves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I've got Tom Boatwright here.
Been traveling since 2015. We currently own this. We got our second Alliance. We currently own a 2026 Valor. Alliance Valor. It's the 32A10. It's 36 foot long. Quality, number one, across the board. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. And it's not the manufacturer itself. It's the workers. You know, need more oversight. Number two would be listen to the customer more. Because I've been in a lot of these RVs, and it makes no sense the thing they do. Like one of them the other day had 80 gallons of fresh, great, 20 gallons of gray tank, you know, which is your sink and stuff, and 58 gallons of black.
What?
Have you ever been in an RV? Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally.
So what is one possible solution to this RV quality problem? Well, we've been talking about this for years, but it's a great extended RV warranty. We've had 2 RVs and 2 extended warranties, and they have both paid off big time. We recommend wholesale warranties for your new or used RV. And actually, we work with them, so if you use our link, it does help to support our channel. But we think they offer the best program. Again, for new or used RVs, you can get a fast free quote on an extended warranty that covers so many different things. It seems like every few months I am calling an RV tech in to work on something. So we would highly recommend it. We'll put the link down below in the description for you to check out. Thank you so much for checking out Wholesale Warranties.
So my name is Brian. This is my wife, Stephanie. We have our YouTube channel is called Carpe RVing. And we have a 2018 Tiffin Class A motorhome at 34 PA. Sound quality. Some of the rigs are just so loud going down the road, especially the motorhomes, the Class A's, B's, and C's. They're really, really loud, and sometimes it's almost distracting. So you get that distracted. But even once you're parked, the loudness of the air conditioning units, and the quality of the speakers when you're setting down to just kind of relax for the night, you always have that not high-end property. So that's what I would be really looking for is that kind of thing.
You're a little biased to sound.
I'm a little biased because I'm an audio engineer.
Oh man, I've worked in audio. I owned a disc jockey company for
okay.
Okay. I still consider myself like an amateur with that, but sound gets me.
So I'm here with Chris. Chris travels on all social media,
That's
right?
correct.
What RV do you travel in?
I currently have a 2008 Keystone Springdale 242, 26-foot fifth wheel.
Okay, awesome.
What do they need to improve? Oh my gosh, pricing would be a good one. Availability and more customization options to make it a little more dialed towards you. That's a big one because RVing is a more personal way of doing it. That's why we do this, to get that personal experience out of it.
Tabitha and David.
We're Miles with Views, and we are in a 350G Momentum Grand Design.
What is one thing, two things, or even three things that the RV industry needs to improve on?
That's a good question.
I would say service.
Yes.
Being more punctual, more better communication on when your rig's going to be done. I would definitely say service.
Okay. Yes. I think that's the same for me as well, because that's the only thing that we have had really an issue with in the past. But the service provider we have now, Tracy, is awesome.
Great American RV.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Funiac Springs. Oh, we ain't doing shout outs.
We don't do shout outs, right?
We totally can. We're not affiliated, aligned with anybody.
Okay.
We can share any brands, anything.
Well,
no worries.
Well, yeah, and we like them, and we like our service writer, which so that's why we say. But in the past, that was the main thing, was the communication and then the time frame to in order to get your rig back. So the biggest things is like what we've learned is fixing what you can fix for yourself, and then the major stuff, send it in to the dealership for service.
Yeah.
Great. We just hope the RV industry will keep making improvements. I appreciate those suggestions. I've got Bonnie and Richard here, and what RV are you guys traveling in?
Right now, we're not traveling in an RV.
Okay.
We own a Grand Design, a big fifth wheel.
Right.
Solitude.
Keeping it parked?
Yes.
Okay.
But we are in the market to buy a small motorhome, about 32 foot, to do traveling in it.
Okay, great. What is one or two things the RV industry needs to improve on?
Quality.
I was going to say the same thing, quality. Definitely quality.
Yeah.
And information. They don't give enough information now.
Okay. Yeah, more information.
So we're in a 2008 Newmar X Air, and if you don't know what those are, they were only made for 2 years. So you have to go do your homework now. Learn to RV, you just got your first assignment. Learn to RV is the channel. So learn2rv.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the things. But we also have learn2rvthepodcast.com. So there's actually a podcast that goes with that.
What is the one thing or two or three, however many you want to add, things that the RV industry needs to improve on?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I actually think I'm part of that position. So I'm very different. I am in here as an influencer, but I'm also in here as a business owner. I think promoting the businesses and getting the businesses seen, there's plenty of work for everybody. And so I think we need to be less competitive and more community. And so finding community groups and connecting people is the other part of it. So like for FRVA, I'm a FRVA benefit partner with RV Roofing Solutions, but I also started a chapter within FRVA. I would love to see influencers because they have insurance on all their rallies. So all these influencers doing rallies, what I would love to see is each one of us start our own chapter within FRVA so that we have insurance wherever we go. And so the family chapter that I just started is called Rolling Roots. And that's going to be for families across the country, but it's not just in this country. I filed under the international chapter, so we can even have rallies wherever we want to go. And so I think there's some of that could happen in this industry.
So you're saying the event then is insured, so everything's
Correct.
fine with that. That's
and as a
that's
business
great
owner,
tip.
I know I can't get insurance. Like if I hosted a rally for Learn to RV, the insurance is just stupid money. And so under FRVA, with the chapter, we can host something with Learn to RV or any one of the creator brands, and as long as it's family friendly, Rolling Roots could be added to that. So it's a way that we could grow that community, breathe some new life back into FRVA, and bring back the community that used to be here.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jennifer.
And Josh, the RV tech, is back to share what brand of RV he would buy right now if he was going to make another RV purchase.
But if I were to purchase another unit right now, it would probably be a Brinkley, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't work on very many of them. I've talked to customer service twice on the tech line. Awesome people. And I mean, that's just where it's at. Like, I don't mean to be biased, but they're setting the industry right now.
And do you agree with them? Let us know down in the comments. I have been talking about RV quality for years. I know it's no surprise, and maybe you guys think we sound like a broken record saying it, but I really do truly believe the RV industry can be a solution going forward for so many different things. I think more and more people want to live this lifestyle, live smaller, cheaper, more mobile, and we need better quality, so it's easier to do this. And there's so many cool technologies coming out that can improve RV quality, but we need RV manufacturers to step up and realize that we want our RV investment to last and not be looking at replacing an RV every few years. They're spending thousands and thousands on repairs. So again, who's with me? Are you guys agreeing with this? Comment down below. Stand for some change. Once we stop buying low quality RVs at ridiculous prices, the manufacturers will change. And our 12 RV couples will be coming back. So again, make sure you subscribe. They'll be talking about their favorite RV upgrades and gadgets, and also what's the one tip that they would recommend for RV newbies. Those videos are coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching this video, friends. We appreciate your views, your subscribes, and your comments, and of course, sharing the video. For our very next video, you can click right over here.